boy. What is going on, Aztec Nation? Welcome to another episode of the Sons of Montezuma podcast. It was a beat down in the Bay. The Aztecs are victorious once again. We're going to get into all of that. And it's Christmas, so let's get into it.
Bob, they give it to him, they double team him, and the turnover. Bird up ahead. Boyd lays it in, but misses it. Coleman Jones cleans it up. Wilkinson, the freshman, swatted by Guap. And the nice lead for Davis with the dipsy-do, and he got it. Stojakovic blocked from behind by Bird. Bird for three. He got it.
Chance points for San Diego State.
Boyd with a three. DJ Davis off the inbounds. Another three. Boyd. Got it. But not on my watch. Petritus. And he's blocked by Wayne McKinney. San Diego State, the 23rd ranked team winners. Our final score, 71-50. San Diego State.
Last second shot, we down, you need a play. 3 ball in your face, hype, JK. He's living the play, reliving
All right, welcome everybody. Want to say a very Merry Christmas week to you. Happy holidays, all that good stuff. It is the Sons of Montezuma podcast. Thank you guys for joining us. It's a victory Monday, so that's always a good feeling around these parts. You can find us at sonsofmontezuma.com, all over social media, Instagram, Facebook, X, Twitter, all that good stuff. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button before we get any further. And it won't cost you $1. It won't cost you $1. But thank you, Angelica, for that super starting things off on the right foot. Of course, my name is Mateo San Diego. I am an Aztec warrior. And I am joined with none other than back from his travels, his wild travels up to the Bay Area. I guess San Jose is part of the Bay Area. It's Silicon Valley, I guess.
South Bay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, South Bay. Oh, boy. You cannot stop him. You can only hope to contain him, and not even the fog could contain this man. He is. What's going on, SD Sports Fiend? How are you doing, man? Welcome back.
I'm doing great, man. I was wiped out at work today, man. It was exhausting, exhilarating time. Didn't know I was going to get up there, just with all the travel issues. But fortunately, I didn't have as much trouble as the team did getting up there. Good old Spirit Airlines in bankruptcy got me there only 2.5 hours late. So I was able to check out some stuff on Friday night, and then, obviously all day Saturday, man. It was a great time. So we'll get into it.
Yeah, 71-50. The Aztecs beat down the Bears. I wish I was there with you. We went up for the football game when Cal beat us in Berkeley. So it was nice that you got to witness a little payback on the Golden Bears. But I was down here in San Diego. We'll get into that in a little later on in the show. But man, the travel whirlwind that it was for the Aztecs. You kept us up to date on what was going on via text in our text chat, and alarming us. Man, the team, they may not even leave. They're stuck. Everybody's stuck. Our flight was pushed back like 5 hours or something like that, sitting on the runway. Did you think the game was gonna get canceled at one point?
Yeah, I did. I was not sure, especially after their flight from Orange County got canceled. It was like, okay, now you're doing the math. How much time did they have to get up there on a bus? Okay, they're going to Ontario. What happens if that flight gets canceled? Because at this point, we don't know if it's just fog or if it's just problems within the whole Southwest system, And so it was, no one really knew what was going on. And then when I got there, I saw Nick Boyd. I saw a couple of the walk-ons. So, okay, at least we got 3. I'm ready to suit up, and I know Big Matt Ridley's ready to suit up too. So we got a couple more, but we didn't know if we're gonna have a full team for that game. So yeah, it was just crazy. I mean, Friday night was nuts. I mean, I was there, saw the team at the airport, and it was the craziest scene I've ever seen. I mean, they were just the terminal, people just hanging out outside the terminal, laying down, sitting down, people inside the terminal. Before you get into security, you couldn't even go through security. You had to wait for your flight to be called because there were so many people in the terminals. There was a couple that I met, the Heatons. They were there from like 1:30 was their flight, and they had been there 3-4 hours waiting to get out. And I think they finally got out. But it was just a madhouse. I'd never seen anything like that at the airport.
Now, on the Helica asked, you didn't have any trouble getting back home, though, right? I mean, coming back home, victorious flight back, you had to be on cloud 9 coming back.
Yeah, no problems whatsoever coming home. And like I said, it wasn't that much of a delay considering everything else that happened. So I was fortunate.
Oh, yeah. That San Diego airport, they're going through construction. I can't imagine that had to add on to the woes. And we saw your picture with Bird at the airport out there. Were you prepared? Did you have some shorts traveled in case you had to suit up and get out there? Because you made it out there before the team. So
yeah, no, I didn't bring any shorts. I was gonna have to like stop by Dick's Sporting Goods or something to or borrow something from the team to be able to suit up. But I mean, you've seen me hit threes, at the Mesa event. I mean,
sure. Oh,
you've seen me lock down Micah Parrish on the River Park courts, so I can ball.
I forgot to laugh, so Kawhi had to get in on there. But you know what? You're talking about being a player. Somebody is knocking on the door of the live stream, and he is definitely not a player. It is one Mr. Tortalot. What's going on, Mike? Oh my goodness! It's not Mike. It's the Grinch that stole Mike's body. What's going on? Is this, man? You look like the aliens that have been attacking our coastal waters here in the United States, bro. What's going on? Oh boy, I don't know who wore it better, man. You or Big O at the watch party, dude. I don't know who wore the Santa outfit better, dude. How you doing, Mike?
Was he a Grinch or was he a Santa?
Oh, he's Santa, man. Mexican Santa Claus, bro.
You know what I love about him? For a fat guy, he's super jolly. You know what I mean? So that works out. What's up, boys?
What's up?
Yo.
You have to wear that Grinch costume when we go on a road trip and scare the crap out of one of us as we're waking up, because that mask is scary, almost as scary as your face. But
oh boy, settle down now. Might have to get in the middle between you two because it's gonna be a fun one, man. Thank you for joining, Mike. Better late than never.
He's so welcoming when I come on the show. He's such just a breath of fresh air. Merry Christmas, everybody. Sorry I'm a little late.
All good. Well, since you are a little late, let's get into it because the Aztecs 71-50. It was a crazy game. We've talked about the traveling woes that the team had just to get there. Of course, Fiend made it out. Let's take a look at some of Fiend's travels. We released it a little earlier, just for some of you who are curious on what that looks like. What a time you have, Fiend. What
do you want to see, Fiend?
I want to see Lamont Butler guarding Micah Parrish or vice versa. I think that would be really cool. We haven't seen it yet.
And the turnover. Bird up ahead. Boyd lays it in but misses it. Coleman Jones cleans it up. Stojakovic blocked from behind by Bird.
Look at that defense.
Compton in favor of the Aztecs.
And chance points for San Diego State.
This is where Boyd just went off in that second half.
BJ Davis off the inbounds. Another three. Our final score, 71-50.
71-50. You guys took that rebounding personally.
I got a little secret. They said we weren't the same as SDSU. It's all good though. We got a good dub. Merry Christmas, baby.
Hey, no, you have a Merry Christmas, man.
Look at that face. No, you have a Merry Christmas, JCJ. Look at that face, dude. Just so adorable, dude. What an adorable human being, SD Sports Fiend. Thank you for taking us into the travels in San Jose. Mike, what do you have to say about his interviewing skills there with JCJ after the game?
I mean, he's always has great questions. I mean, he's just got to let the guys answer the questions instead of interrupting them. That's all. You know what I mean? But, hey, he was there. He represented like he always does. So that was a fun trip for him. He got to see Big Matt Ridley and some of the other cats. And apparently people were yelling at their wives and getting out of cars and stuff like that, which I would have loved to have seen. Usually I'm the one doing that. But it was a good trip, dude. It was a kind of an interesting – I didn't see the first half. But I was able to catch the second half of the sportsbook in Vegas. And, man, I don't know what happened in the first half, but they came out like a house of fire in the second half, dude. They look good. I don't know what happened at the halftime, but hey, by the way, I was thinking about it. Miles Bird, great player, great shooter, elite passer. I mean, He is an elite passer. I mean, there's some of those passes are crazy in the last few games. So I actually saw them at the airport. I think I saw Miles, Farrow, and Taj. I don't know if they were going home to Vegas or whatever. And I went to grab Harper to meet them, and I didn't know where they went, so I wasn't able to see them. But
they all live in Vegas, so I'm sure they
I'm wondering.
probably flew in from San Jose. Yeah, I think the team just scattered after that. I don't even think they all went back to San Diego to meet up. I think they just went their separate ways because they only have a couple days off for Christmas, and then they have to be back obviously to prep for the Utah State game. So that's probably where you saw them, is when they were getting off their flight.
That makes sense, because I went and grabbed her real quick, and then all of a sudden they were just gone. I was like, oh, I'm looking. So, but hey, man, we'll see them again.
Plenty to get into before we talk about this weekend's game, Utah State. But the Aztecs, of course, were led in this game against Cal. Nick Boyd, 17 points, and really was the catalyst, I think, for that run with all those threes. But man, he was electric shooting from deep. And what you say about Miles, I can't agree more, man. I mean, just an unbelievable playmaker. And that's, I think, what we all saw that potential last year, is that he has the ability to do so many different things. There was a wonderful article that came out today. I don't know if you guys caught wind of that, just showing all the different things that he does to fill up the stat sheet, right? And not just stats, but just his importance to the team, defense and offense. So those two really, I mean, they've been really electric this season, man. And then of course BJ Davis, he's coming out as that if he's that third scoring option in the guards, it's like, wow, man, this team is very talented. Fiend, you were there in person, getting the crowd riled up. I mean, what stood out to you the most in this game from what you saw there on the court?
Well, I mean, obviously the first 5 minutes we couldn't hit a shot. And we kind of predicted that. I was talking to some guys at the pregame party, the Mesa party, and I said, man, if I bet on this game, I definitely would bet the under, because I don't think we're going to shoot well in the first half. And that's exactly what happened. Is we did not shoot well because we didn't get a shoot around. I mean, they only got to the arena like an hour before maybe,
Yeah.
and the only time they got to shoot was right before the game. So that we had to find ourselves in that game, right? Shooting wise, the defense was great. I mean, the defense was so solid all game, and we held a team that was 80 points was their average, and we held them to 50. So that's really impressive. Just the defensive effort, and then offensively, then exploding there from really about the 10-minute mark is when we started to get going, and then right there after the break in the second half, we sort of shut the door on them, and it was great. The crowd was great. We had a lot of Aztec fans. I don't know how it sounded to you guys on TV, but it was pretty electric. I mean, especially coming after the Oregon Stanford game, and it sounded like a library in there. I mean, it was so quiet, and then we get in there and we do our thing, and it was a fun environment.
Well, also joining you there in the environment, we already mentioned Big Matt Riley's been helping us out with the E-Hose the Montezuma podcast. Gonna bring him in. What is going on? What's going on, Big Matt? How you doing, man?
Hey, good. Hey, good guys. Fiend, thanks for letting me hang with you this weekend. It was a lot of fun.
Hey, we had a good time, definitely.
Yeah,
It
missed
looked
you,
like
Mike.
it.
You're not too far away, Mike. We missed you there.
He was in Vegas. What
in
show are
Vegas.
you seeing?
Bro, I saw Michael Jackson 1 on Friday. If you haven't seen it,
Great
incredible,
show. Yeah,
unbelievable.
yeah.
And then we saw
It's
Awakening at the Win. So we went to the Win and saw Awakening. It's kind of an interesting one, but saw Sean Merriman. That's a big dude, bro. Like he's friggin' massive.
Did
And
you
then
do the
hey, shout out
lights
to Jay
dance?
Frank. No, I was like, I don't go up to people like that. But I gave a shout out to Jay Frank. He was sitting in the front row. He loves. I mean, he's probably one of the only alumni that gets to a lot of games every year, man. So we were texting a little bit back and forth and stuff like that. So it was good to see him there.
Yeah, it was really cool to see him up front there on the court side. And now he's retired, right? I think from basketball, so he can hang out at more Aztec games.
Yeah.
All right, Big Man, we brought you in for a reason. These guys are catching up on their extracurriculars over here. What are you talking about?
Extraterrestrial.
Extraterrestrial. Yeah, put that mask back on, boy.
Katy Perry.
Mike, what stood out? I mean, Mike, Big Matt, what stood out to you in this game, man? Because you were there with Fiend, taking it all in. Just a beat down in that second half, especially.
Yeah, well, before the game, let's just start off with the Mesa Foundation threw a great pregame party for all the Bay Area Aztecs and everybody around. It was quite a good venue right there, walking distance. Everyone had a good time. We had a whole patio packed to ourselves. We were watching a little Lamont Butler, Micah Parrish. So shout out to Mesa Foundation. They had a great watch party. Got to reconnect with a lot of people I hadn't seen in a while. It was good times. And getting to the game, we kind of predicted it. We heard all the news, like travel issues. So no surprise that we started off sluggish. But it was fun seeing Boyd take over and really see what he could really do in the second half and with those heat checks. And yeah, he was feeling it. Pharaoh, the whole gang. Our defense led our offense. We really clamped it down, and it was fun. It was fun to watch. Like Fiend said, it was a little ghost town in there. Stanford couldn't even bring a crowd. 20 miles, they couldn't even bring anybody. It's kind of pathetic, but we had a bigger crowd than Stanford, all of them combined. Probably we were well represented. Definitely, it was a fun time. Good trip.
I love you tap into that because this is the Bay Area, San Jose. It's their backyard, but yet San Diego, our presence is just dominating the state. Let's not even be kind about this. I mean, if this game would have been in LA, we would have taken it over. If this game would have been anywhere in the whole state of California. Aztec Nation is coming out and representing and making their voices heard, making their faces, be seen.
Definitely, it starts from the top, right? President De La Torre was there, right? So, hey, you don't get bigger than that. So, I don't know if Wicker came, but we definitely saw De La Torre out there. So that was pretty cool.
Okay, did you go get an autograph, dude?
No, I saw her husband stumbling up the stairs. I let them be.
Oh man. Well, you guys were plenty active out there. You guys were plenty active. You guys like rock stars or something. I was pretty interested. You know, in the preseason when we're looking for transfers and stuff. I remember a name that we had invited. We were really high on, and it didn't dawn on me that Cal swooped him up, and that was Mari Sissoko. So when I saw him out there, you know, big bruiser type of presence out there on the court, and it didn't matter, guys. I remember when we kind of missed out on him. I was wondering, oh man, you know, we're gonna have some holes to fill in this front court. And guess who has one of the nation's top blockers? Not Cal, it's us. Guath continues to be that presence. He may not be, you know, filling in body wise as he will in his future years to come, but the presence out there, like you said, Matt, the defense is turning into offense. I mean, they put the clamps down. I mean, it wasn't even a contest. It was a beatdown, like we said. I mean, to see what Guath has been able to Fiend, you said it was the Guath effect, right? The Magoon effect. Is that what you said pretty much to start the season? And man, it looked good. How does this bode for the future as we get into conference play, man?
I mean, I think it sets us up really well. And you know, you talk about the goon effect. Teams are having a hard time driving to the rim and getting you know, easy buckets and getting, you know, they're missing bunnies that are close to the rim because of that presence. And so we did a really good job against Cal running them off the 3-point line and making them take like really tough contested shots. And they went through a period there where they scored like 5 points in like, I don't know, I think it was like 15 minutes or something like that. It was ridiculous. I mean, we just completely turned off their water. And so that was probably one of the most impressive defensive performances I have seen. And just, you know, when you throw into the fact all the travel issues they had, it's amazing what they accomplished and what they did there.
Feels like this type of an experience is road trip. I mean, you heard the guys talking about it in the press conference after the game. This is the type of thing that brings the team even closer, right? Going through these type of challenges. This is something that hopefully will show up even bigger come tournament time when, man, you can draw back on that experience where you had to be rushed, no shoot around. Just those little things, I think, really bring a team together. You heard Nick Boyd talk about that a little bit, man. This is a young team. They need all these kind of experiences that you can get. I know we had our little debate about, you know, good losses and all that type of stuff, but this was a situation where it didn't even matter as far as the wins losses, but just that experience of going through that travel and knowing that you have to bond together as a team and really show up, and they definitely did. So very, very happy to see that, man. That's gonna be a lesson learned without even having to win or lose a game.
Yeah, I mean, something like that, you can't predict it. You can't change it. It just is what it is, and you can allow it to affect you. You didn't, and they didn't allow it to affect them. So, yeah, they started struggling in the first half, but then they came out lights out in the second half. So that shared commonality of an experience, you get to see how these kids react to. I've always said that people react. You can tell how people are, not when it's a good situation, but when it's a bad situation. You get to really see how that person is in a bad situation. I'm not saying this is a bad situation like a lot of the other stuff going on, but it's a situation where it could have affected them, probably should have affected them, but they're like, whatever, man, water off a duck's back. Let's go get it done. Let's see what you got to do. First game in what, 10 days or whatever, and then we have another game in 7. Yeah, so hey man, that's just the stick-to-itiveness of the team and allowing that to go. And now we won 5 in a row. I mean, this is going to be interesting to see what happens with this team, but that's a good barometer of the character of this team to not allow it to affect them and allow them to just go out, ball out, dominate a Cal team that scored 86 games in a row, first time since 1972, and allow them to 50. So, hey man, I would say the sky's the limit, but there's people in outer space, so you can't really say the sky's the limit. So we'll see what happens, you know.
Thank you, Larry Joe, for that comment. Absolutely. You know, it goes to tell you about our team that he didn't matter. And to piggyback what you're saying, Mike, yeah, man, it didn't matter. You know, the travel, the challenges, like you said, man. I mean, yeah, there's other things that are important, but let's be real. I mean, 10 days off, finals, you know, week before Christmas break. You got Christmas on the mind, all these different things. And I mean, this is Aztec basketball. This is what it's all about. So
it's a mentality, you know,
yeah.
like as I've gotten older, you learn that, like, if you allow it to affect you, it's going to affect you. The mindset of, hey, I'm going to go on the road, or it's Christmas break. I'm probably not going to go to the gym. I'm probably not going to be able to do the things I want to do. I just got to be okay with that and not be upset with myself for not getting to it, because, you know, once you have that mindset flip of like, all right, I just know for the next 3 or 4 days, it's not going to happen. Right. We're just going to hang out. We're going to have beers. We're going to hang out with family and friends, and then I'll get back to it. That's kind of the mentality of what it is. And like I said in that little blurb, is we have a history of fixing the rebounding problems, and it looks like we did. So that's a huge thing. And I was reading the articles. It's, hey, worry about us, right, Fiend? And just worry about us. This 10 games, let's focus on us. Let's get better, and then we can affect the other team's game instead of the other team affecting our game. You know, the rebounding was huge.
Fiend, I know you hit on that with JCJ. I mean, did it really feel like maybe they turned the corner, or was this just a bad matchup? Because we talked about Matty Sissoko. That's a big boy down there. Didn't matter.
It was a bad matchup for us, so I think it's you know, it's surprising that we did out rebound them, just because of how well they are on the offensive board. So I absolutely think that, yeah, maybe we've turned a corner here. I mean, you know, it's one game. If you can string along a couple more games, then you'll convince me that, yeah, we have absolutely turned a corner. And sometimes, you know, a couple years ago, there was a game that we played, you know, that the year we went to the Final Four, and there was a real lack of effort at the Nevada, and I think they got out rebounded, and they all had like a team meeting that all rallied together and said, hey, this is not Aztec basketball. We need to get back to doing what we do. And I don't know if that's what happened this time after, you know, the Cal Baptist game and just all these games that we've been getting out rebounded. But like I said, you know, they took it personally, and they did something about it, and it was pretty impressive. And it definitely contributed to the, you know, us dominating Cal in the way we did. And I mean, we won by 21, but I think we were up by 29 at one point.
Yeah.
This game really felt like that game back in 2019, 2020 season at the Staples Center. Remember when we went there and played Utah? It just kicked the living crap out of them, and it was all Aztec fans. That's literally what it felt like. And it was so awesome. We were like, towards the end of the game, we started this cheer of like, because we just wanted to pour it on them. We're all pissed. We're like, you know, the whole travel, everything, like, we're pissed. We're just like, more. And like, we started, and then like the next possession, these girls in front of us started doing the chant, and they're going, more. And yeah, we were relentless all game. And the team talked about that in the post game, about, you know, the fans showing up and just being lit, and like how much they appreciate that. And you know, that energy that we bring, it's one big, it's, you know, Aztec Nation, right? Team and fan base. And so it was great to see just the showing out there in the Bay Area, and team played just so well off of it.
Well, we were having our own chants and party going on down here in San Diego, so I hope you guys fed off of that. We had our black and red beer launch / holiday viewing party down here in San Diego at Citizen Brewers, and man, we had ourselves a time. Let's go and get into that. We'll be back in just a sec.
I could
understand it. We the beat band and we bring heat for the mic. Want not, waste not, front not. They didn't see him dip into the 50-cent plus spot. He walking down with
There you go, get some.
Hey, man. Yeah. Boom. Merry Christmas, everybody. Aztecs win. Let's go. See you on Saturday. Utah State. Be ready. Oh, big thank you to everybody for showing up down there at Citizen Brewers. We had a great time, man. It was like waves of different people coming through, but we had some issues with the projector at the beginning. It kind of led up to our just angst against Cal. So when we started just raining down threes, that whole place was just, oh man. We even had some of the pep band members show up with saxophone, a little I don't know if it was a clarinet or what it was, but they were playing the fight song, dude. It was awesome. Of course, Aztec Warrior Foundation, Carlos, all those guys, Jeff, Vinny, thank you guys for supporting. And yeah, man, we had a great time down there. I wish you guys were there. I wish I was up there in San Jose. Either way, we were having a wonderful time. And man, just the opportunity to thank everybody for this whole year's support, Sons of Montezuma, and that black and red beer, man. It came out great. It looked awesome. So definitely go support Citizen Brewers. We're definitely going to continue to build some nice products down there, man. But Skeleton Show was down there all dancing all over the place, dude. It was awesome.
That looked like a fun night.
Definitely. Well, Christmas is upon us, guys. Aztecs take down Cal, and next we got Mountain West. The Mountain West Conference season is upon us. Dude, are we closing the door on this Cal game? Anything else you guys want to get out about this game? Because, man, I feel like this game was a big one. I feel like it is kind of a turning point because, I mean, we're now ranked number 20th, right? Went from 23 to 20th in both polls. So in the manner I think that they won, I think it really spoke a lot to the nation. Not that Cal is like anything great, but ACC team now, ACC network, that's what we watch the game on. So, you know, I think it is going to go a long ways in the collective mind of the nation. How do you see things, Matt? You've been awfully quiet over there, dude. I know you were louder than this up there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when you get a game like that, like take your frustrations out, like Fiend said, it was ended up being a laugher. We had a lot of fun. But the benefit of that is the end of the bench gets to play, right? So we got to see Chemo light some shots up. Cam was in there, DeMarshe, of course, Schwartz, right, local kid out of Orinda, so you know he had some fans out of there, East Bay. So you know, little things like that go unappreciated. You know, you notice those things when you're in the game late, especially the bench. The starters love when the bench players jack up those threes. Nothing like that. You know, Bird was in that seat in the Final Four year. He knows how it is, right? So the roles reverse now. So good to see those little things you can't usually see on TV. You know, you can watch some guy focus on the bench, see things you can't see when you're not on ACC network, right? So it's always good getting out there, have a great time. Yeah, fun game.
I love how we locked up Stojakovic too, man. Oh, that was lovely. They locked him up. And yeah, he had a couple points, but I mean his shooting percentage was terrible. And
locked him up 2 years in a row, 2 different teams.
Yeah.
I didn't see Daddy there either. I think I was, you know, he's a 6'9". It's hard to miss, but I don't think he was at the game. Missed Page there.
Thank you for saying that, Mike, because you know we look back last year. This was a victory for us as well. And last year, you talk about Reese Waters was the MVP of that game. Really, really benefited from him just lighting the gym up. This year, very different story. I know there was some news that came out about his injury, his recovery. You guys got any insight to that? Because from what it sounded like, it didn't sound pretty positive.
He was at the game. Was he walking around? Fiend, do you remember?
Yeah, he was walking. So he ditched the whatever that mobility scooter, or whatever he was using before. So now he's walking in a boot. So that's a good sign. I mean, that there's some improvement there. But I think Ziegler reported that it came back, the results came back and they weren't as good as they had hoped. Like the hope was that he would be like ready to start playing right now or start at least practicing. That's not going to happen. So it's looking more like a return maybe in end of January, February, but we'll see. If it goes on too long, then I think he's going to consider more and more about maybe taking that medical red shirt if he wants to play in college next year. But yeah, I really feel for the guy. I mean, because he's just missing. He's been a part of the team, but not playing on the team. If that makes any sense. So, love to see him out there. But our guards and the way that that Bird is playing, in that sort of that spot that he probably would have filled. It's been fantastic, and just the chemistry, camaraderie, everything has been working.
Yeah. Like I'm watching it like with foot injuries. You never know, but like you're talking, what, 2-3 weeks minimum to kind of get back in game shape, practice, get comfortable with the foot. So now we're talking the end of January, early February. And if the results aren't as good as it was, then we're talking probably middle of February, end of February. So
and then at that point, do you want to come back?
Do you want to take? So the mentality is what's the record? What's the vibe of the team? Of course, they're going to want him back, right? I mean, obviously. But at that point, are you, as a student athlete, and you obviously want to go on to the next level, do you just say, listen, guys, I'm just going to shut it down, and then I'm going to redshirt, I'm going to go to the draft, or do you want to? Or you're just like, hey, I'm not coming back. Which we don't know. This is all speculatory, right? I'm not coming back. I'm going to help my guys for the last 4 or 5 weeks of the season, and whatever happens after that in the tourney, and see where we can go. You know what I mean? So it's going to be interesting to see that his journey of what is going to happen, because obviously it's all predicated on how his foot is. And if it's not as good as it was, we're looking at least a couple more weeks, I would imagine, right? So
at a minimum,
yeah, at a minimum. So we're looking probably February for him to come back earliest. So we'll see what happens, man. I hope he gets better, and obviously, that's our guy, and so rooting for him, but it'll be interesting to see how that happens, what happens, how it affects the team, and in terms of his contribution to it. But we'll see what happens, man. This is gonna be interesting.
We could definitely always use a shooter and a long defender like that, but I hear you, man. He's got to make the best decision, and we'll see what happens. Matt, anything you want to add before we say goodbye, man? You were out there celebrating with the Fiend. What was the best part of seeing the Aztecs in your Bay Area, as we call you, Bay Area Aztecs?
Best part for me was when someone leaving the stadium recognized Fiend, and the wife was about to get an Uber. She's like, "Holy shit, this is Fiend! Get back here!" And so
the husband,
like, the husband, sorry, like, yeah. You don't know who this is. This is Fiend. And so it's pretty cool, they don't do that for Tort a lot, So just saying.
I remember there was a very tall gentleman in Nevada who came up to me with his zipper down, by the way, and saw me and was like, "Hey, I was like, I tell you this story. Like, you came up to me in Nevada, and I was like, this dude knows me. I don't know who the fuck this guy is. I'm like, because he just kept looking at me, and he's like, I'm like, and my buddy Cody's like, who is that? I'm like, I don't know, bro, but he knows me. And I didn't even think about it, right? And he comes, and so we hung out. We've been texting and stuff since then, so it was fun. It was fun to. You never know who you're going to meet, man, and you never know who you're going to become friends with and talk to and stuff like that. And that's kind of the commonality of the sport and different regions and stuff like that. And then the next year, he brought me sourdough bread, so things are great.
Yeah, shout out Dave and Marcy, big time Bay Area Aztec fans, and it was something I totally was not expecting. I just had my regular eyeglasses on, and I just was walking with Dave, and I casually told him, "Yeah, I'm on the Sons of Montezuma podcast," and he stopped. He's like, "You're what?" And he said, "Which one are you?" I said, "Well, I'm Fiend," and he just like took a step back, and then I put my sunglasses on, and he was just like, yeah. So
like Clark Kent and Superman, didn't recognize him. They put his sunglasses on.
All right.
Anyway, they took us to a dive metal bar, and we hung out there for a while. Good people, man. Shout out to them. Shout out Dave. He was wearing our shirt.
That was very cool, man. That's very cool. Thank you for mentioning that, Mike, about Big Matt here. And that's what it is. That's what it is. Just connecting Aztecs fans all over. Now, Matt's been helping us out with the e-host. Hopefully we get that thing back going strong, and really appreciate it, dude. It's the friendships that you make out there on the road that makes this thing so much more enjoyable and fun, right?
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, guys, and hope to have a report back in February when we make the road trip back to San Jose to play the Spartans.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, we got to do it again, Matt. Thank you, dude.
Thanks, bro.
Thank you,
Merry
guys.
Christmas.
Later.
Take it easy.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
Gotta love it, man.
Quick blurb for you, Mr. Sunglasses at Night. San Diego State has not lost to a Ken Palm sub 100 opponent since February 22nd, 2020.
Yeah, I saw that stat. That's amazing.
Who is that team that we lost to?
UNLV. That was the
Is
first
it?
loss of the 1920 season.
Yeah, there you go. That's right.
I was, yeah.
Oh, man.
Damn, he's just an encyclopedia of knowledge, man.
I was there. I remembered it. Man.
Yeah, that was a tough
devastating. That was a real tough one.
Yeah. That's an excellent stat there, Michael. I appreciate you bringing that out, man. You are the stat analytic guy of the pod.
I've the student has become the teacher. By the way, let's take a break here in a second. Okay, let's give a shout out to this women's team, man. 11 non-conference wins, the most since 93, 94. I mean, they are just playing excellent basketball, and they just, hey, the only thing prettier than their game is them. You know what I mean? So they're just playing great ball, and I'm really, really glad they're playing great, and we're curious to see how they play the rest of the season because they have a lot of talent, man.
Yeah, they got a narrow victory over Hawaii the same day on Saturday. And boy, they're really they're staying consistent. I know they had a setback the other day as well, but I want to say her name right. Number 24, Naomi Panganaban. She's a local girl. Mountain West Freshman of the Week. She's been balling, man, hitting some deep threes. So, man, a lot of talent on that team. They were fun to watch last year and the last time I saw them this year. So definitely want to check out some more.
Kind of wish I was going to Vegas for the whole week, to watch the women and the men's. That would be a fun week in Vegas.
Yeah, I caught some of that last year when they were in there, and that was really cool. That was really cool to see. Oh man, Naomi going nutso. Absolutely, man. His team is loaded. Well, guys, what do you think? Christmas is upon us. Curious to know. Let's get into the mind of Tortolot and Fiend.
Oh no.
Out of these three songs, we haven't done a shot clock question. This won't be a shot clock question. We haven't played that game in a while. But out of these three songs, which would you rank? Would you start, bench, or cut?
It's a D in a box.
No, we're not doing that again. We're not doing that. Get your mind out of the gutter, Fiend. Get your mind out of the gutter. Last Christmas by Wham. Because I just watched that little Netflix special they had. Little look back on that making of that music video. It was really cool. Run DMC's Christmas Time in Hollis, Queens. Or I'm not gonna say Mariah. I know you guys are waiting for Mariah. We already kind of did that. Or Let It Snow by Boys to Men. Those three tunes. Those are pretty stiff competition. Fiend, you're up to bat.
Oh, definitely starting Christmas in Hollis. That's like one of the best. Besides D in a Box, that's one of the best Christmas songs of all time. I would bench Last Christmas by Wham. I mean, that's a classic. Shout out George Michael. Boys to Men, gotta cut them. Sorry, it's just not. It doesn't rank up there with those two songs.
Bro, it's got Brian McKnight on there, man. It's like the most soulful Christmas. Oh, okay. All right. Mike, what do you got on this, man? What do you got on this?
I'm starting Last Christmas. I'm cutting the Run DMC one, and I'm benching Let It Snow. Just because of the fact, to be honest, I've never heard the Run DMC one, so I can't really talk about it. So I just,
oh my gosh,
I don't listen.
cannot
Bro,
that.
you know how many songs, like, you can't listen. We can't all be you and know everything, bro. We can't listen to everything. We can't know every song.
It's on every Christmas, though.
I mean, if I've heard
Did
it,
you watch the movie Die Hard?
Of course. What kind of question is that? It's ridiculous. That's a Christmas movie.
It's in that song. I mean, it's in that movie.
So what's a better Christmas movie? Here's one for you. Die Hard, Rambo, or Batman Returns?
Die Hard.
Die Hard, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't even think about Christmas when I think of the other two. I don't even think about Christmas.
Yeah, they're both set in Christmas. Little factoid. You didn't know that, did you, Fiends? Oh, that's something you didn't know. Weird.
All right. Eden Art Garden Amusement Museum. He's over here. Did nobody watch Butler versus Parrish last weekend? It's the second time asking the question. Fiend, you were intently watching that game. I don't know. Did you watch it? I didn't watch it, man. I'll be honest with you. I did not watch it. I was busy.
Yeah, we watched it at the Mesa Foundation event, and I'm curious to know about Parrish because he looked like he got injured. Like it was a baseline out of bounds play. He was guarding the guy with the ball, and I think it was his player like fell into his leg, and so I don't know how serious the injury is, but he looked like he was in a lot of pain. And then he didn't come back in the game after that, so I'm hoping Parrish is okay. But the Ohio State, I was really surprised they took it to Kentucky. I mean, on a neutral court too. So that was, yeah, it was a good kind of pregame to watch before, because all the college football playoff games, they were all snoozers, pretty much. So that was an interesting game to watch before our game.
Well, yeah, that's gonna be a tricky one, man. I feel like we're gonna play one of those two teams in the tournament, man. We're gonna see Butler or Mr. Parrish. That might be an interesting scenario.
I would love to play Butler and have Nick Boyd hit a 3-point or shot, or a game winner over Lamont Butler. That would be so poetic.
Man, okay, we got a little harsh feelings here in the chat.
It's not harsh. I mean, it's just
And if those are the facts, there's some recruitment going on behind the scenes. If those are the facts, I mean, this is the new world of college sports, right? This is the new world of college sports. Can't see Mike, but he's there.
It's probably better for everybody. Hey, how about the Fresno State Bulldogs losing to Cal Baptist twice this year? That was the craziest thing. I don't know how that was allowed to be on ESPN, but that's the Christmas that's just going to keep on giving. I hope the show makes a banner of that when they come to town.
I might have to work that into my hate article that's coming out soon, very soon. I think right after Christmas we'll drop that.
Well, no, we're playing Utah State this Saturday, 3
That's what I meant.
p.m. at Viejas. We got to drop that, like as soon as possible. The conference season is coming up, Fiend. What do you think? Do we want to get into that now? I think we should save that for maybe the end of the week. Let's talk a little Mountain West hoops, get into how things are stacking up, because there was a lot of trash talking against the Aztecs before in the preseason, before the season started. Everybody was thinking, oh, they're down. We're gonna get our chance at these Aztecs. They're young. Look at that roster. They don't got nobody. They're not the same, as JCJ said. They're not the same Aztecs. I think the Mountain West has got a rude awakening coming to them, and it's going to start on Saturday. We'll get into that later in the week. Hopefully, we'll have a little conversation on that. Oh, boy. Best thing about Parrish and Saunders transferring is they'll be on the couch watching the Aztecs. Woo! Some heated words. But that is pretty a big testament, man. When we got guys that left to go to bigger blue blood programs, and look at this team, man. This team is still moving forward, still playing strong, young as they are. Other guys that, hey, we loved them in the red and black. They chose to go elsewhere, collect that bag, and I can't blame them. But they're on a different team now. This Aztecs team they're showing themselves. They're proving themselves. Showing and proving.
Yeah, I mean, it just goes to show it's a collective, not just a person, right? It's you. This was a year where we talked about we have a lot of unknowns, and if any year we're going to be down, this is probably the year, and they're not. So that's a hurdle that I mean, the team knows it. They see what's going on. The coaches know it. We don't get to see that as much because we're the fans, but like, hey man, like the fact that they're 8-2 now, obviously we have a lot of basketball left to play.
20th in the country too.
20th in the country. Yeah. So, I mean, they just keep doing what they got to do, and we're used to it now. I mean, at some point you're just like, hey, how is San Diego State going to be? We know how they're going to be, because if they can have a good year like this year, win 22, 23, 40 games or whatever like that, and then go to the tournament and have a good run, they have a lot of young guys who are going to start coming back, and they're going to have some depth next year with a lot of experience. So it could be a nice 4, 5, 6, 7 year stretch here for us.
Yeah, what happened to your screen there, Mike? You're all blurry.
I don't know, man. I think you voodoo cursed me, bro.
No, I talking about this team and the potential that they have. It was interesting after the game, listening to Coach B talk to some fans, and he was saying, like, we're good, but we're not great yet. We're a good team, but we're not great. So the coaches see like how much the potential is there, and how much they can improve. And if the Aztecs can play defense like they did against Cal, make that pretty consistent, and then play the offense that they're playing and hitting 3-point shots, sharing the basketball, we're going to be really tough to beat, not only in the Mountain West, but then come championship season.
Yeah. I think Mike used a good word, workman like this team. They're just putting in the work and building that resume. And up to 20th. I love what I'm seeing from the staff as well, man. Just keeping this team focused, hungry, and just playing really smart basketball. Smart basketball, man. Love it. Gotta love it. Every player is different. I know they all want to succeed in their own individual way. And, I think the reality at some level for us as a program, we kind of have to prepare ourselves that this world of the transfer portal is real. NIL is here to stay. It's not going back. If there's opportunities elsewhere, that is something that you kind of have to just understand, that it's a reality. Players want to go where they want to go. They got different ambitions or, whatever it is. us as fans, we want to just hold on to everyone as much as we can, retain the players, and I'm right there with you. I don't want to see anybody take off, but it's too soon to be thinking about that kind of stuff. You got to stay focused on the mission, on this year, accomplishing what is at hand, and I stick with what Dutcher always says. Rising tide, it lifts all the boats. So if you want to personally achieve greater things, you got to play this team ball. And Mike always says we got our guys, right? That come in through the system, our guys. If you don't want to stay stagnant, you got to continually prove yourself that you could bring in guys, develop them, and if they leave, I think they'll always look back and maybe regret it a bit. But that's a good sign of a healthy program, man. If we got guys that are continuing to come in, get better, send them to the league, that's the ultimate, right? So
Yeah, I mean, like I saw a stat with the football, and I know it's a different beast. I think there's like almost 2,400 players in the portal.
yeah,
I mean, there's nothing you can do about guys want to leave. There's always going to be that 80-20 rule, right? So there's always going to be like 20% who kind of was like, maybe I want to go here or there, but most of the team is going to be who they are. You know what I mean? So I think last year Lamont gave us 4 great years, and I think Micah was, gave us a couple years, and he wanted to go closer to home, maybe. And I mean, obviously Saunders was kind of a bolt from the blue, but there's nothing you can do about it. These kids got to make their own decisions and stuff. So you have to adapt and adjust, kind of like they did on the going up to Cal. You adapt and adjust and you move forward. You can't worry about yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Good question here by Kevin Napolitano. Thank you for chiming in, man. Do you guys think the offense, defense, and depth are better this year? I'm gonna say yes. I'm already gonna say it. I'm gonna say yes. Better in the sense that I think if one guy is not hitting, you got another guy you could plug in there, and that opportunity, that chance, you feel comfortable with it, right? Last year was such a talented, experienced roster, but offensively, it was so heavy on Jay. Everything ran through Jay. This year, it just feels like it's so much more team-oriented ball, and it doesn't even just feel that way. I mean, the numbers back it up. The stats they show it. So yeah, I think it is better this year. Now, will they achieve better? Will they get past the Sweet 16? That's yet to be determined, right? But I think the potential is there. Absolutely. Fiend, how do you feel about this awesome question? Good question.
No, I mean, I totally agree with you. I think we're a much more balanced team. You alluded to the passing, Miles Bird being a great passer. Taj Gorville's an elite passer too. He has great court vision. We have great guards on this team. We have 5 guards who can, all handle the ball really well and shoot. And then, you add in our big guys who can shoot as well, and then block shots and play defense and rebound. And we're a really dangerous team. It's just, I think it's going to be the consistency, right? So we've seen some ups, we've seen some games where we're not as good. So keeping that level high, especially as we get into the month of February into March, where we're really peaking, that's what you want to see. And so we have yet to get there yet, but all signs are looking really good as long as this team stays healthy. That's a big factor too, that we're coming up on a very physical, tough, grinding conference schedule in the Mountain West. Guys are going to get banged up, and I know that we overcame some issues with the travel, but Ziegler had a really good point in his article that sometimes, these things where they wear on you when you have a couple of different times where you have travel issues, where you're not chartering, you're taking Southwest flights, or just having difficulty getting to places because of weather, that sometimes it's always not, you don't see it immediately, but it shows up later, where the team is just kind of worn down and goes into a slump. So we'll see when we cross that bridge, but I really like where this team is at. It's exceeded my expectations, I'll be honest. At the end of the non-conference schedule.
That's a fair point by Ziegler as well. I mean, because this was an abnormal travel, situation, right? Going to the Bay Area, it's an hour flight, if that. Now the grunt of travel in the Mountain West, which is the toughest conference to travel in. Now we're really going to have some challenges in the wintertime facing some of those things. Willie from Scottsdale, we're still planning on making that trip to Fort Collins. That's the one we got circled. I think that one's going to work out the best for us. And the fans need more Fiend bench post-game interviews. Absolutely. Somebody called for Fiend to be the post-game guy on the show, on the radio or something, whatever it is. Post-game official. Mike. Mike, how'd you feel?
Mike does not want to hear that.
I'm just glad I turned the game off as soon as it's over. You know what I mean? Just say that. No, what he represents, man. He has fun, and obviously I have different obligations and stuff. I have with the kid and stuff. I wish I could be there, but he represents. He has fun, and that's what it's all about, man.
I enjoyed it. Just maybe not so many I love yous. Maybe. So.
It's that time of year, man. Got to spread that Christmas joy. Show
Sergio,
your love for the Aztecs.
Sergio, if we can improve the rebounding, we can't be stopped. And yes, staying healthy, that is always key. A good question from Tex. He says, does an Aztec win the Mountain West Defensive Player of the Year, as they have pretty much done every single season? Also, Goon or Pharaoh for Freshman of the Year? Are these questions we want to answer now, or do we want to get into that later on this week? Because, boy,
get in later.
Mountain West Conference is upon us, guys. It's upon us.
One's yes, one's no.
One's yes, one's no. Yeah, that's. I think that's fair.
We'll let everybody else figure out which is which.
Utah State coming up this Saturday, guys. They recently just lost to UC San Diego. The nerds, but those nerds are playing some good ball. So
yeah, but they turned around and beat St. Mary's at St. Mary's, so that was an impressive win. So
yeah. Can't take them lightly. They're always a smart team. No Ashworth, thank goodness, but they'll have somebody to plug in there that'll just annoy the heck out of us. So, who else we'll have to find out from Mike who he's eyeing on the Utah State roster to have a bromance with this next couple seasons. Got to find that out.
TBD. TBD. I think we should go. Man. I mean, I think it's probably.
Don't keep us.
I don't know. I mean, they're all Mormon, right? So I can pick if they're both Mormon, I can pick multiple. Then, right? Is that how it works? No. Okay.
No, that's how it works. Tell me how it works. Yes?
We're going to Logan at some point, man. Even if it's next year or the year after. You know what I mean?
Yeah, one of these
Colorado
days.
State will be fun. I guess that's the booster road trip that Bagnus was saying. So he's going to be there too.
Okay.
Hey, look who's here. What's up?
Yeah, baby. Got to clear up the screen.
I don't know what happens with that. I got to figure out a new camera, apparently.
Thank you, Richard. Thanks, guys, for your hard work. For Aztec family is much appreciated. Thank you. Have a great holiday season in East Tennessee. Guys, I want to thank you for joining us, making Sons of Montezuma your source for Aztec sports enjoyment. We have a lot of joy in doing this and traveling and watch parties and just seeing everybody at the games, man. It's so much fun. Mike.
See, Feed, I was telling you about it earlier, man. She's the light of my life, and she comes back in from fuzzy to clear. She brightens my day and clears the road for the future. You know what I mean? Or something.
Very sweet.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, make sure you guys are checking first thing in the morning. We said it. Big things coming to the NIL shop at sonsofmontezuma.com right now. You can save actually save 20% off using the promo code MONTY. It's only going on until Christmas. but make sure you guys are saving 20% off. The NIL shop is all full price. We want to make sure our NIL players are receiving their full due. And right now we have Miles Bird, we have Adriana Quezada, and we also got Kim Villalobos coming up. Some good items for her on the women's team. There you go, Fiend sporting the bird. I love Bird's item in the collection. So make sure you guys are supporting the guys. We got to keep them here, and you guys could play a part in that, in your support. First thing in the morning, though, we're dropping another player. I wonder who could it be. If you guys go check out sonsofmontezuma.com, the online shop right now, you'll see who's there. You'll already see it, but it will be officially for sale in the morning. Oh man, I can't wait. I cannot wait.
Christmas Eve present under the tree.
Man. Yeah. All right, everybody. Well, okay. Amazing Aztec stat. 246 games in a row when leading at the end of the game. Love it. Yes. Everybody have a great Christmas. Happy holidays. I hope you get all that you want underneath the tree. On behalf of these guys, SD Sports Fiend and Mike Tortolot, the Grinch. Man. Go Aztecs. Go Aztecs.
Merry Christmas, guys. I love you. Go Aztecs.
Harper, come here.
Everybody have a great night. Have a great night.
Go Aztecs. Come on, say it. That's right, baby. Merry Christmas,
Thank
y'all.
you, everybody. See y'all at the end of the
Merry
week.
Christmas.
Gee.
Sit down. Come